Hello everyone, welcome to Couch Sundays. My name is Rachel, your love coach and image consultant. Thank you for all the support. If you're new to this channel, you're very welcome. If you haven't subscribed, click on the link down below to subscribe and don't forget to share and leave your comments. I always enjoy your interaction and input. My last video was about defining seduction, characteristics of all seducers. I gave you the 9 seducer types, characteristics of the siren archetype, strengths and dangers of the siren archetype, what a siren should do as she gets older. As we all know, beauty fades. I further gave you the types of the siren archetype, tips to be more seductive, tips that show someone is attracted to you, and what men are looking for in women. I will review the rake today, who is the second seducer type, in close reference to The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene. The rake is a great female fantasy figure. When he desires a woman, brief though that may be, he will go to the ends of the earth for her. The rake might be disloyal, dishonest, and immoral, but this only adds to his appeal. Unlike the normal male, the rake is delightfully unrestrained, a slave to his love for women. Robert Greene, in his masterpiece The Art of Seduction, describes the rake as a master of seductive language, for words are a woman's weakness. Seduction is a psychological process that transcends gender, except in a few areas where each gender has its own weaknesses. The male is vulnerable to the visual. For women, the weakness is language and words. To know how to seduce a woman, you need to understand the use of seductive language and words. If you watch this video till the end, you will understand the rake and his seductive ability. We will focus on the rake's characteristics, type of rakes, keys to their character, the rake's symbol, and then the dangers associated with their characters. In the war of penetration, strategy is key. You need to know yourself, get under someone's skin, and look at the world in their own eyes to effectively seduce them. In seduction, there's often a dilemma. To seduce, you need planning and calculation. But if your victim suspects you have ulterior motives, she will grow defensive. If you seem to be in control, you will inspire fear instead of desire. The 2 types of rakes mentioned in The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene are the ardent rake and the demonic rake. Fronsac, the future Duc de Richelieu, is a good example of the ardent rake in The Art of Seduction. Richelieu is impudent and witty. He is a heartbreaker, a seducer, incredibly bold and immoral. Women competed for his attention. He even talked rival women into menage a trois. To be the target of his attention became a great fantasy. Everyone in Paris knew about Richelieu's pursuits. The women found him irresistible. The ardent rake solves the seduction dilemma that I mentioned in the most artful manner. He calculates and plans by finding an obstacle, for example, a jealous husband. He then braves all the dangers and obstacles to get to his victim. As mentioned in The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene, the ardent rake teaches us that intense desire has a distracting power on a woman. A woman is often defensive and consents when someone is not sincere. But if she feels consumed by your attention and she is confident that you will do anything for her, she will notice nothing else about you or will find a way to forgive all your indiscretions. Rakes are daring. They show a woman uncontrollable desire and libido. Their words are impetuous. They are unapologetic and they never back down. The key is to show no hesitation, to abandon all restraint, to let yourself go, or to show you cannot control yourself and you are fundamentally weak. Do not worry about mistrust. As long as you are the slave to her charms, she will not think about the aftermath. The next rake is the demonic rake. In The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene, Gabriel Annunzio is used as an example. He was ugly, short, stocky, with a splotchy complexion and bulging eyes. Men thought of him as unappealing, that they let him mingle with their wives and daughters. But it wasn't the men who talked about Gabriel, it was their wives. Within minutes of talking to him, their wives were spellbound. He had the most magnificent voice they ever heard. Soft, low, each syllable articulated with a flowing rhythm and inflection that was almost musical. One compared it to the ringing of church bells from a distance. Like I mentioned in my previous video, the voice is an important aspect in seduction. Gabriel's words were interesting as well. Charming locutions, poetic images, and he used words that could melt a woman's heart. As I mentioned in the previous video, you need to get under someone's skin to know how it is to be them, to know what makes them tick and what makes them weak. D'Annunzio mastered the art of flattery. He seemed to know every woman's weakness. Everything was suggestive, hinting at sex or romance. D'Annunzio never said anything concrete, but rather focused on the effect his words had on women. He wrote dozens of similar poems to different women, slightly tailoring each for its intended victim. You need to understand your victims in order to succeed in seducing them. D'Annunzio had remarkable conquests that included political ones. He played upon the emotions of the crowds. He had the support of a large part of the army and would have beaten Mussolini to the punch if he wanted. The rake is as promiscuous with his words as he is with women. He chooses words for their ability to suggest, insinuate, hypnotize, elevate, and infect. The words of a rake are equivalent to the bodily adornment of the siren, powerful, sensational distraction that is narcotic. The rake's use of the language is demonic because it's not designed to communicate or convey information, but to persuade, flatter, and stir emotional turmoil. The example of D'Annunzio reveals the link between the erotic rake who seduces women and the political rake who seduces the masses. Both rakes depend on words. It is the form that matters, not the content. The less your targets focus on what you say and more on how it makes them feel, the more seductive your effect. The rake offers what society normally does not allow women. That is an affair of pure pleasure, an exciting brush with danger. It is a woman's fantasy to meet a man who gives totally of himself, who lives for her, even if it's only for a while. This is because marriages and relationships have less devotion. Most marriages and relationships have routine and an endlessly distracted mate. Great seducers touch a person's unconscious. Great seducers offer pleasures that the society condones. Women, just like men, are also deeply attracted to the forbidden, the dangerous, and even the evil, just like Eve in the Bible. If you play the rake, you must convey a sense of risk and darkness, suggesting to your victim something rare and thrilling. That's how you can make a woman fall in love and not lust. Like I said in the previous video, lust is temporary. Seducers focus on the long term and not the short term. To play the rake, the most obvious requirement is the ability to let yourself go, to draw a woman into the kind of purely sensual moment in which past and future lose meaning. You must abandon yourself to the moment. By abandoning yourself to the seduced, you make them feel that you exist for them alone, a feeling reflecting a truth, though a temporary one. Of the hundreds of women Pablo Picasso, a consummate rake, seduced over the years, most of them had the feeling that they were the only one he loved. The rake never worries about a woman's resistance to him or any obstacles. Resistance is only the spur to his desire. The obstacle is the opportunity for the rake to prove himself. If there are no obstacles, you must create them, for no seduction can proceed without them. The rake is an extreme personality, impudent, sarcastic, and bitingly witty. He cares nothing for what anyone thinks. Paradoxically, that's what makes him attractive. The rake needs a backdrop of convention, for example, a conservative culture, to shine. Among the rake's most seductive qualities is his ability to make women want to reform him. A rake shows that he needs help. Most women jump at the opportunity. In The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene, when President Bill Clinton was clearly caught as a rake, it was the women who rushed to his defense, finding every excuse for him. The fact that the rake is so devoted to women in his own strange ways makes him lovable and seductive to them. The rake's greatest asset is his reputation. It is what draws women to him. Never downplay your bad name or seem to apologize for it. There are several things you must be known for as a rake. These are your irresistible attractiveness to women, your uncontrollable devotion to pleasure. This might make you seem weak, but exciting to be around. The rake symbol is fire. The rake burns with a desire that inflames the woman or woman he is seducing. It is extreme, uncontrollable, and dangerous. Just like the siren, the rake faces most danger from members of own sex. Today, only stars and the very wealthy can play the rake with impunity. The rest of us need to be very careful. Elvis Presley became an overnight rake after attaining stardom. He found himself cornered by an angry husband or boyfriend on numerous occasions. You cannot be a rake by feeling fearful, and such dangers do not matter. The greater danger for the rake comes from insecure men who see him as a threat, although they do not admit it. They envy the rake. And just like everyone envious, insecure men will attack in hidden ways, often masking their persecutions as morality. Thank you for watching, liking and subscribing, sharing the video, commenting down below. Like I said before, I enjoy your input. The next seducer type I'm going to review is the ideal lover in The Art of Seduction. Then I'm going to review The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. I love his books. If you want to buy one, or if you have read the book and what you think about the rake, you can just comment down below. Don't forget to leave your opinions, and don't forget to enjoy seduction and always be ready for any seduction opportunities when they present themselves. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.